Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you find yourself in this weird, wild, wacky world of ours, and welcome to another exciting installment of Darkness in Dublin. This evening's scene takes place out on the hard streets of Dublin City after night has fallen. Our collective awakened magi, our population who can see the other worlds and understand the fact that they are very much not the masters of the universe that some of them may claim to be. You feel a sudden amazing pull. For those of you who have Prime, for those of you who have any degree of Prime, you feel a huge shift of energies, an energy shift that is very, very, very unsubtle. It is as if somebody yanked a huge amount of power briefly from where it was meant to be to a given location. For those of you who have entropy, somebody has literally just not just altered, but caused fate to do a U-turn. Something has just happened that was not meant to occur. It is disconcerting. It's almost as if for that one brief moment, up became down, left became right, and as Isaac pointed out, in the void, left is always universally left. He's not wrong. But basically, excuse me, you feel an immense shift as the magical energies of the city are fundamentally tampered with on a very deep level. And you're not exactly sure what has caused this, but you know that it has taken place. Walking through the city streets from a whole different number of directions, excuse me, you will eventually all convene out in front of a park called St. Stephen's Green, one of the larger parks at the very centre of Dublin City, and you will find a vicious, gnarled car accident featuring three vehicles. The ambulance are already here, along with the correct and proper authorities who have cordoned off the area. But based on the ambulance personnel and the police, you can tell at least one person died here. The cars are twisted hunks of metal that appear to have collided at very, very high speeds all around one another. The face itself appears to have been tweaked. For those of you who can measure the strands of fate, this car accident was not meant to happen, and yet it did. People were not meant to die here now, and yet it happened. Fate was pulled in a direction fate had itself not intended. And we shall do our introductions as you appear on the scene. We will go from my left to right. So, Isaac, you are up, sir.
All right. Isaac's just gonna go ahead and keep his hands in his pockets. Go ahead and take the sidewalk for himself. Go ahead and try to find some convenient ashtray. If none is provided, he'll just go ahead and pop one out of his pocket, and just don his sunglasses. Sunglasses that he wears at night. Yes, those sunglasses that he wears at night. He'll go ahead and affix it. Let's just say it's been affixed to Prime. He'll go ahead and keep that up for a hot second before transferring over to Spirit.
Okay, next on my list of people to enter is Marcus. The Duncan has arrived.
Fuck's sake!
So yes, you see, as I said, three cars that have been crushed together by the impact. Continue.
Just, Nan, are you seeing this?
Well, I am by. There's some weird stuff at work here. I don't know why, but this screams the fair folk to me.
Aye, the gentle ones. Have we any sugar and cream? Did I get any?
Well, there's a shop over there, you dozy wee git.
You make sense, Gran. You make sense. And he appropriates said culinary needs.
It's a need, not a want. And next up, we will have Zakit. Hello, Zakit.
Kit is walking alongside Isaac after some interesting methods of inadvertent bonding? Question mark. But as he's looking for an ashtray, she'll offer up her empty Starbucks cup.
Oh, go ahead and use it. Thank you kindly.
Mm-hmm. So what's all this about?
Pointing.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Don't know what it's all about, but some very big effect flared in this general direction.
Well, the end results are wow.
On a side note, both Isaac and Kit will notice one interesting personage who was here. You will see this gentleman who appeared in the bar last night. He has a notebook in his hand, and you see him cross something off. Just shh.
Isaac's gonna go ahead and groan, throw his head back. I'm not gonna deal with that.
There's a good chance he probably already knows that we're here. There's probably a good chance he can hear what we're saying right now.
Interestingly enough, Isaac, do you still have your sunglasses at night on?
Yes.
Okay. Everyone, even ordinary people, have a vague quintessence signature. It's the kind of the essence of their life force, etc. Or do you have spiritual life on, rather, or spiritual rather?
I will take a spirit.
This entity does not have a spirit that you can see. If you flick it onto Prime, he doesn't have a Prime signature.
Oh shit.
Okay, we're going to move to Ozzy. Ozzy, you're up next. You arrive at the carnage.
Ozzy's going to pull up on his motorcycle and pull to a stop after feeling the weird energy tugging thing. He's going to flip open the visor on the motorcycle helmet and slide on a pair of his Google glasses, and then close the visor again, touch the side of his helmet. And with that, he's going to activate both Prime Sight and Time Sight.
Okay. You have to roll those separately, but okay. Do the thing.
Yep. As soon as my computer stops.
And whilst you do that, I'm going to flick over to Minnie, the last person to join us.
Minnie and her goofy self is just, being Minnie. She runs past Mr. Red Tie, bumping into him, be like, sorry, and keeps running past the other mages.
You bump into him, and he goes forward. He says, "Oh no, that's entirely fine. Don't worry about it." But yeah. So Ozzy, what sights did you turn on?
Well, at the moment, the first one activating is Time Sight, so I'll turn it on for the scene and for the effect.
There's absolutely nothing odd about the flow of time here.
Okay, and then the same for Prime Sight.
Okay.
Sorry, 3 successes for Prime Sight. So 1 and 1.
But the only thing you will notice that is odd with your Prime Sight is, once again, the gentleman here pictured has no Prime signature. He doesn't appear to be. But he's very much standing there. Once again, as Minnie has proved by bumping into him, he is physically there. Does anyone have Entropy Sight on at the moment?
I can activate it.
It's more so if you would. If you think a character would activate it, you can throw it on.
I mean, fate is just did a fuckery, so I feel like it might be a good idea.
I've got it, but I'm busy haggling for this pack of gum to go with the custard and the other stuff I'm buying.
I told you once, sir, that is that's €2.72. You don't have €2.72. You cannot have the gum.
Well, can't we negotiate?
It's the price of the gum. What do you want from me?
I'm just saying, this looks pretty old. Now, in my village in the Isle of Skye, if something was
chewing gum, it could survive a nuclear blast.
But seeing as how we haven't had one of those, I didn't ken what we could survive. I'm simply saying, its gum seems kind of old.
Would you just pay this poor gentleman, you dozy twuzzock?
It's just like when Sam runs the store. I'm just doing what you taught me. Remember that? Remember those kippers?
Those were gone off, and you know it.
He didn't know that.
No, but those poor unfortunate family, the Samsons who bought them did. They had the piggy trots for 3 fucking weeks.
That serves him right.
I got 3 successes with the willpower.
Okay. The flow of fate here is really quirked. And it's quite odd. Nothing's going to this gentleman directly. Everything, but there are a number of strands of fate that are connected directly to his book, his small notebook in his hand.
Oh god, he has the death note.
He kind of paused and is kind of staring.
My. He leans on his cane as he walks towards Isaac and Kit. So lovely to see you both again.
Hi, Sam.
Howdy.
How's it going?
Oh, it's quite fine. And yourselves?
Well, you know.
Isaac goes ahead and looks himself over. I have a coat now. I didn't when I began this evening. I don't know where it came from, though.
Interesting.
I have skin on my hands.
Did you not have skin on your hands?
For a little while. Day or two ago, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's very interesting.
Very painful.
I should think so. Rather a shame this, wouldn't you agree? Such a young life cut short. Tragic.
Didn't see who it was, but I'll take your word for it.
Aye. Such tragic circumstances. He smiles. But then again, life goes on. By the way, hey Isaac.
Uh-huh.
You see something under your spirit side. You see something very pale and ephemeral that could be a spirit ripped from underneath the car, underneath the bottom of the 3 cars. As the book snaps closed, it basically goes into the pages of the book as it snaps closed.
What do I see with
Oh. Isaac groans. Looks at the figure that we're currently calling Sam. He goes ahead and says, "Sir, did you just go ahead and rip the psychic residue of a recently deceased person from that vehicle?"
No, I didn't. I merely collected a debt.
Can you go ahead and tell me the nature of the debt? Because it sounds like a bit of necromancy, but I'm not entirely sure.
Are we actually saying that word out loud on the street?
No.
Isaac is saying that word on the street. You can stop him if you want to.
That's literally what she says out loud, as her head kind of turns and looks at Isaac.
It's just a shake of the head from the person on the motorcycle.
Then he was just like, oh wait, he's in the know?
On a side note, you finally get him down to €2.23, Marcus. You saved 4 cents.
That's what I'm talking about.
But you will emerge from the convenience store. And you see, you've met Isaac at least. I don't think you've met Minnie. And they appear to be talking to this person.
Hello, you lot. Fate's all quirk. You know what's going on with that?
And he just points, or she actually won't point. She's just like, he gives him this. Can't say.
Mr. Blanchet, I tell you what, I'm a decent fellow. You want to know the nature of my deal, do you?
I am curious, yes, sir.
Very well then. How about this? I'll tell you, and you just have to owe me a favor.
He goes
I
ahead
don't
and throws
know.
his hands up. Nope. I'm okay, sir.
Everything has a price, Mr. Blanchet. You'll come to realize that.
We've not been properly introduced, sir.
No, we haven't.
Care to have a seat? Maybe make a meal. Break bread.
An interesting offer. I would be delighted. He extends his hand.
Shit. There's a lore roll for this.
You have no idea what he is or isn't. There's no lore roll. He just offered to shake your hand.
Goes. Aye. He shakes his hand.
Wonderful. Nothing happens to you.
Cool.
Oh, wait, no, sorry, something does happen to you. My bad. You now have 3 uses of the lucky merit that you can use at any point in the future, but once you use them, they're gone. So you essentially have 3 rerolls.
Aye, sir.
Make a note of that.
I will.
Somebody else also has 3 rerolls. Looks at Vinny.
Oh.
So, you don't
Wait.
want
It's a
Can I
peculiar
feel
creature, that one.
You don't want to make that agreement with me, Mr. Blanchard, and I'm afraid the nature as to my deal must remain secret. I'm sure you understand.
I understand, sir. I will not go ahead and poke and pry.
After all, as I'm sure you know, all magic comes with a price.
I mean, I would ask you to go ahead and expound on that a bit, but I'm sorry I don't have the cost of tuition.
Well, that one I'll give you for free. Take for example. I tell you what, the park is just over there. It might be easier for us to have a conversation in more private surroundings, and I have been offered a meal by this lovely gentleman here, so we shall take that privately, I think. Is that agreeable to all?
Do you mind if I nip back to my home so I can bring back some whiskey from the Isle of Skye?
I would be delighted, by all means.
Be back 2 shakes. Evan,
Oh.
he literally runs there the whole time. Ugh, invigoration, baby. That's how we do things.
Okay. You will be able to get home in about 5 minutes and back in about 5 minutes. But the figure will walk into the. He walks into the park and he takes a seat on one of those corrugated iron benches that are in the park. And he says, "Now then, allow me to give you an example. So, you all have extraordinary powers. Powers that are given to you by the machinations of fate. However it is you choose to expound upon this fact. However, because of the powers you hold, each one of you have, at your own time in your own lives, caused suffering to others, death to others. You are the cause of many tears simply because you have power, exercise, and wield it. Thus it is that magic exacts its own price."
Interesting philosophy you got there, sir.
Am I wrong?
Well, you have gone ahead and given out a statement. I have no evidence against it, but I don't see evidence for it yet.
Really? Would you like me to expound upon my theory?
Oh, please, Professor. We're going to call you Professor Sam from now on.
if you feel the need. Very well then. I do hate to dredge up the sins of others, but no, I don't. So, let us take as an example. You, Miss Kit, you who are so vehemently able and willing to leap to the defense of other people. Yes?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Okay, I'll accept that as gospel. The individual who you murdered in his hospital room might have been a bastard, but did you ever stop to think about his family?
I don't know what you're talking about. Takes a
Would you like to
drink out
roll
of
me
the
some
not
sweet?
existing. No,
You're
no, I
drinking-
wouldn't. That is completely and openly a bold-faced lie. And she's drinking out of a cup that's completely empty.
No, it's not empty. It's got Isaac's cigarette butts in it.
Yeah, no.
Shit.
Iron stomach, motherfuckers.
That's fine.
Oh, damn.
Let us also take, for example, the woman whom you, Mr. Blanche, are infatuated with. Do you have any idea how many lives she's ended simply because of some perceived insult, some minor slight? But the power that she wields gives her the what she feels to be the God-given opportunity to wield.
Interesting, interesting. I will not go ahead and speak for her at this time, but I will take it into consideration.
Magic always comes with a price. It is merely the case that some people are more vehemently aware of the price than others. Is Kid just still chugging the non-existent liquid like? Good
Too
coffee.
busy to elaborate, or too busy to elaborate, too busy to give an alibi, too busy to confirm or deny because she's so drinking this coffee right now.
And he's gonna tug on her sleeve and put a bottle of water in her eyesight.
Thank you. Grabs a bottle of water. Takes the bottle off.
The cigarette ash sputter out of her mouth as she says this.
She's got a little bit of a mustache going, yeah.
Question to you, Professor Sam. What about those miracles in which there is a sudden bit of healing or a sudden rejuvenation of the spirit? What is the cost in there?
Ah, now you ask. Is that
I know
true?
the cost, says
Hmm.
Minnie.
I would ask, is that altruism, or is that simply the fact that you deem to deny fate for your own selfish purposes? Ultimately, the fact of the matter is that what you believe to be right or wrong is of itself selfishly moralistic. You don't fight for a greater good. You fight for what you perceive to be a greater good. Thus it is, even your actions that might think to be of, from a charitable perspective, are tainted by your own life philosophy. So you heal someone, that's nice. Why do you do it? Because they align with your moral compass? You take life as easily as you give it. So ultimately, that just makes you a hypocrite who is easily bowed by their own inward morality, Mr. Blanche.
Interesting. Could I not simply kill or revive somebody without my particular abilities granted to me upon death? What if I just simply had a gun or simply trained in first aid?
Indeed. In that case, you would be man who kills man. My point is that by the very nature of your existence, you are the price of your own abilities. You cause misery where you go, or you choose to have those who are already miserable bowed in service to you. The simple fact is, as I said, magic always comes with a price.
The prices you have certainly laid out, but I would go ahead and put it out there that these prices are not unique to us who are walking with our eyes open, but can also be attributed to humanity in general.
Ah, yes, the hubris of man. By the way, Duncan, you'll return about now.
You seem to know about the hubris of man. I am curious.
Oh, I've come back at the good part, haven't I?
Indeed.
Sounds like it.
So, Mr. Planchet, the hubris of man. The fact of the matter is that man is a wonderful creature. It has the ability to reason, it has the ability to love, it has the ability to perform the higher actions. However, it somehow manages to strangle those out simply by its own arrogance, its own power lust, and its own wish to dominate that which it perceives to be its inferior. So, what do you do when you give man not just a gun, as you have said, but when you give him the very nature and the ability in which to rewrite the cosmos? Man imparts his imprint upon reality simply because he does so. After all, it's the reason of man that certain entities exist. It's the reason of man that you and the technocrats tear each other to pieces because of your fatalistic and idealistic doctrines. The simple fact of the matter is, once again, you are the cost that all must bear simply because you have the power to change what tomorrow is. But not just what tomorrow is, what tomorrow can be, what tomorrow will be, and what tomorrow can mean to others.
Interesting. So let me put to you this question. I'm sorry for all these questions, but I'm a curious bloke. Say if those that say those who walk with their eyes open simply disappear tomorrow. How would the world change? How would it be different?
You see, that's a question I don't know the answer to. However, in that situation, it would be a world ruled by man and man alone, not man into whom is vested the spark that makes him above his fellows. Would there be a utopia? Who knows? But needless to say, the causality of so much blood, conflict, strife, and pain would have simply evaporated, and perhaps then man would have a chance to be man, rather than man, the servant of immortals and gods.
Aye, sir. But who would protect man from those that would do him harm?
You see, that's another interesting topic, Mr. Campbell. And whether no, you've never told him your name. You see, you think of yourself as a protector. Rather, you think of yourself as a protector who must protect the divide between this world and the spirit world. An admirable concept. However, I would say to you that because of the nature by which these worlds collide with one another, it is the hubris of your own kind who weaken the veil, the shrouds, those other things that keep the world separate. Aye, at certain points, it is because of grand celebrations, the witching hour, when it is that all things ride free. But then again, 9 times out of 10, these places that are haunted because of traumatic acts or great occult mysteries of the past that have been unleashed. You protect because others have bungled. So, I would argue with you, Mr. Campbell, that you must protect simply because others have already opened a gaping wound.
And I would.
Oh, wait, Winnie, says Minnie as she sits next to him with her head on her hands, staring.
Well, my retort is simple. It has to be done.
Oh, quite. Once again, I'm not here to say that you shouldn't exist. I find you all to be rather pleasant as entities. You make the best stories, what can I say? But ultimately, I'm a realist. I believe that all magic comes at a price. Even your existence bears a price. After all, I know you have, Mr. Campbell. How many men have you killed?
Today,
In general.
47.
And of those 47, how many do you think have had people who wept for them?
Hadn't crossed my mind.
Indeed. So you are, in fact, the cause of at least 47 people's grief. The grief as those who love them must mourn over their gravesides.
It's not the Pain Olympics, sir. It's not whose life sucks the worst. It's what you done. You had coming. Everyone knows it. Death.
Really?
Oh, aye. In the end, death's coming for everyone. No one can escape it.
His actions is their price for their existence.
It's not even so complicated as that. To try and name it, to try and put it in some sort of way that people can understand it is trying to control it. One doesn't control certain things. You cannot. You simply must accept.
As I said, I am merely an old story. A story that's been told through many lips, through many iterations, many retellings, many whispered words.
There's powers in that, right?
Oh. So, what do I do? Well, I make deals. I make arrangements. I grant people what it is they truly want when they sign on the dotted line. That's the nature of my existence.
Oh, that's a great way of not telling
Can I roll
people your
intelligence
name.
for the cult?
Sorry, 1 second. Blah, blah, blah. Minnie, what did you say?
Can I roll intelligence for the cult?
Okay. And Marcus, what did you say?
He says, that's a great way of not telling people your name.
Names, as you know, have power.
Can I make that a cult roll too? Sorry.
Yeah, you can.
What's the difficulty?
I tell you what, if you guys know it, you probably know it because I've already, he's given you enough clues to cop on who he is.
Kit just smiles to herself, drinking out of a
Minnie's
water bottle.
bouncing up and down. No.
Is it not
Minnie
off?
needs to chill.
Ian, if you want to make the intelligence cult roll, it's difficulty 6 and you'll require a threshold of 2 successes.
Roger.
She's gonna lean in real close.
Hang on.
Not touch
Hang on. Just give me a second for Ian to make his roll, and then we'll continue.
That is 2 successes.
His name starts with Or.
Starts with what?
Or.
Okay.
Or?
It's how I pronounce it. My accent. R. I think is how you pronounce it.
Yes, R.
Yes, I say Or.
Okay.
There's running, there's a pool.
So Minnie, she cups her hands around her mouth to muffle the sound, and she whispers real quiet so nobody else can hear, and she'll say it.
You say his name?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, shite.
Oh dear. I didn't think someone was okay. Right.
She's trying to respect his privacy.
As you say the last syllable of his name. Hi guys, this is fucking gruesome as shit. Minnie leans back to smile, only she doesn't have a mouth. The mouth is entirely gone. No. When I say the mouth is entirely gone, I don't just mean there's a flap of skin over her lips. No. There is no mouth there. It's I have no mouth, yet I must scream. Oh dear. Dear. Now you've gone and done it. So, roleplay accordingly.
Like, I'd like a little bit of clarification. Like, has her mouth gone all like Keanu Reeves in The Matrix, or has it her upper and lower mandible have been magically ripped off?
Have you guys seen the really shitty, really shitty Deadpool they had in that Wolverine movie?
Yeah.
Basically, the mouth is gone. It's like it's just skin where that is.
Okay. Kit.
Minnie's
kind of
just been through so much shit lately. She's just gonna give him this look, like, I wasn't gonna tell them kind of look.
I mean, I would think you'd be more freaked out by not having a mouth, but okay.
But look at what Minnie's been through. lately. Like, she's upset, but
I will point out, does anyone have life size currently active?
Not currently, but Kit certainly has water coming out of her nose as she was in mid-drink when that happened.
That's entirely fine.
You may want to repeat what you just said. I missed it. I apologize.
I asked if anyone had life sight on, and Vinny said water is coming out Kit's nose because she's having a moment.
Yes.
Gotcha.
But does anyone have life sight currently on?
Nope. This is the No Life Mage group.
Hooray!
I remember these groups.
I'm normally surrounded by them.
she just, she looks at him and just points at her vocal cords like, that would have been easier. Like, making that gesture.
Oh yeah, you have no idea.
Professor Sam, was that really necessary?
She took something that didn't belong to her. I don't like thieves.
Well, if she gives it back, will you return her abilities?
Sir, that's good, sir. That's a deal. You didn't want to do that.
I said if.
Oh, maybe this man, he seems to know the old ways. For the record, he will happily take a shot of whiskey if he's offered it.
Of course, that was my word. I said I wanted to get this some good Alaska shit. Hook him up.
Yeah, he knocks it back and he says, "Tell them what we do to those who take what's not theirs."
The stories are pretty clear that you don't take too kindly to thieves. But and the ignorance is no protection. Because they're their rules, and as far as they're concerned, if you entreat with them, you know them.
So, Minnie, that's her name. Yes? You can
Minnie will
nod.
nod.
You took my name without asking me if you could. It's fine. You're a smart girl.
She looks really confused when he says took.
Mm-hmm. So, what we're going to do is, I'm going to be generous, and I'll restore your mouth to you. But, if I do, you're going to owe me a favor. Not if that is acceptable.
She's gonna make a. Hold on a second. And she's gonna write out conditions on a piece of paper. Question mark.
That you never speak the name again without being offered it. And I won't have you kill anyone. Those are the limitations I'll place on you and on me.
Sorry, cut out a little bit. You said she's never gonna speak the name again. Won't kill anyone.
And those are the conditions placed on you and on me.
Okay. So also scribble. I don't hurt people either.
I don't really care about hurting people, so that's acceptable.
Then she'll be like, if you just want the most useless mage in the world to hold you in cage, you got one.
At which point he cups his hand to the lower part of your face, and when he removes it, your mouth is there. For the record, if any of you had life set up, you would have seen how horrific what happened really was. He didn't just seal over her mouth; he ripped that section right off her pattern. So anyone who put a new mouth there with life magic, it would have been paradoxical, and she would have suffered pattern bleed.
Did you know what he was before you entreated with him?
She just looked at him.
Any of you?
I am vaguely aware. I wasn't aware completely before, but apologies for my rudeness.
As I said, miss, names are powerful little things. If you take them when you have been offered them, then that's a grave offence.
Oh! Oh! Isaac goes ahead and groans, as if the epiphany has just dropped on him. Oh. Okay.
What epiphany was this? Sorry, I what?
Okay, inside Isaac's head, he's just like, wait a minute, that's an order of Hermes. That is some spiritual creature that doesn't like his name written down. The history of the Order of Hermes has been to go ahead and like detail most of the occult studies of whatever they can find, vampire, fae, werewolf, whatever like, and he's like, oh, that's okay. That makes a little bit more sense. That's why he's a little bit more standoffish and hostile. Okay.
So, Master Duncan, you've given me succor. You've given me whiskey. I'm sure that if I asked you, you'd offer me that custard that's over there, which looks delightful, by the way.
Got a good deal on it, I did.
I
got a great deal on it, I did.
Did you?
Of course.
So, I'll give you this. Because you've obeyed the old rules. You've obeyed the old laws, and I like that. I'll give you one small request for free. No strings attached.
Request. You mean I can request something and you'll do your best to fulfill it?
Aye.
Okay. Bring back Gravedigger.
I didn't realize he was gone.
Just because somebody else.
Like, club owner Gravedigger? My boss Gravedigger?
Oh yes, if it helps, she works for him, Mr. Campbell.
It doesn't help. Just proves she's a bad judge of character.
Considering the other options I have in front of me, I'll take what I got, what I'm given.
Okay. Isaac raises his hands. Question to he goes ahead and points at Duncan. Question to you. Why do you want Gravedigger back?
Look to the other side, son, and you'll see why I want him back.
Okay, do you want to talk to him? You want to make an appointment? And he goes ahead and like moves his finger over Kit. She can go ahead and arrange something. She's sort of for him. She's an assistant.
You're not paying attention, are you? I'll try it again.
Th-
Look to the other side then.
Don't understand.
Well, it's not for you to
Isaac is
understand.
dumbfounded.
You either do or you don't.
I'm just gonna go ahead and sit down here on this bench.
He smiles and he closes his eyes. By the way, Isaac, do you remember you had a very interesting thing in your DM or in your blue booking from me? Because I needed to have Gravedigger come in as an NPC in order to intro characters, we are going to count you getting that little inference in your PMs as of this evening when you go home.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That is legit. Timey-wimey, slimy-limey.
Ooh.
But no, he looks up at you and he says, "Unfortunately, Mr. Campbell, where Mr. Gravedigger is currently, I am incapable of doing that for the price of a minor favor. If you'd like to go into a major debt with me and give me your true name, then I'll happily retrieve him."
Well, that's mighty courteous of you to give me the actual price of things, sir.
So, where does the ownership of the club go if he's gone?
Is that what you're concerned with?
It's a good
I gotta
question.
get paid.
Oh, you're one of those. Well, please, pray, continue speaking with him then. I'll be over here.
I don't know. Needless to say, Mr. Gravedigger is currently beyond my reach in a place that I would rather not go. I will go if I'm paid, but other than that, I have no interest in going there.
There's a darkness at the end or the darkness at the beginning?
It's not dark, actually, where he is at the moment. It's rather oddly bright.
Oh, that's a scary thing.
I gotta go back to the club. If he's not there, there's nobody keeping an eye on the rest of them.
May I ask a question, sir, ma'am, if you don't mind?
Sure.
Was there something maybe Mr. Gravedigger said in case of emergency do X, Y, Z, something like that?
You know, we went through orientation, but I don't know if that ever came up. But looks like I have to go learn how to run a bar. So I will see all of you later. Isaac, anytime you want to come by and give me a hand, that would be great. Professor Sam, always a pleasure.
I look forward to seeing you again, Miss Kit.
Yes, and as far as I know, any deal you had standing with him, I guess, is still a thing.
Oh,
so...
He's not dead.
You know,
I
when
mean,
someone
that
goes
is
off
not
into,
dead,
like,
which can
another...
internal lie.
Well, the thing is that he may not be, but I don't know if he's ever going to be able to come back or not. And I don't want to fuck up anything he's got going, so feel free to stop by whenever you want. Same goes for the rest of you. Yeah. She's going to kind of step back slowly, hands out at her sides before she takes a couple more steps back, turns, and then begins to take a brisk jog back towards the club.
All right. As a matter of fact, we're going to end our scene there because I have to mentally put a timeline together. So thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been a scene in Darkness in Dublin. Have a pleasant evening.